Hey, this is Winston Zeddemore, CEO of Zeddemore Industries and member of the original Ghostbuster team. You're listening to Why We Bust, brought to you by the Windy City Ghostbusters and Memoriam Development. We're talking about members in the community and giving back. So suit up, shut your traps, dial in your PKE, and keep busting. Because it still feels good. And before you ask, no, I did not catch the number of that ghost train. Sorry, I missed it.
Thank you, Winston, the CEO of Zeddemore Industries, leading off our evening here on Why We Bust, brought to you by the Windy City Ghostbusters and Memoriam Development. So, welcome back, everyone, to Why We Bust, the podcast where we dive into Ghostbusters fandom one proton pack journey at a time. I'm your host, Matt Goeltenbodt, and today's guest is a proud member of the Cincinnati Ghostbusters. We're really excited to welcome Ian Crowe. Ian is a part of the team that helps with a lot of charities around the Cincinnati area. He also does great work with Special Olympics. Today, we'll hear about how he got into Ghostbusters, what it's like being a part of his team, and how he helps others through his fandom. So, set those PK meters to stun, because this episode's going to be electric. Ian, welcome to the show.
Hello. See if you can see our sticker.
Look at that.
There.
We've got the sticker too.
Nice.
I love it. I love it. Great way to rep the team right off the bat here. So we're going to get a little bit into how you started with all this with Ghostbusters. What is your first thing you remember Ghostbusters related? Was it a toy? Was it something that you saw on TV? Was it the movie? Was it the cartoon? What was your first memory of Ghostbusters?
Well, my first general memory would probably be Ghostbusters 2 when I saw it with my mom back in Maryland. We were a military family. And then the real Ghostbusters blasting and stuff. And I had the pack, the gun, the foam stream. And it's just all fun. We also had the glow-in-the-dark trap, minus my brother broke the handle. But we put glue in there to see if it worked. It did not. So that I would count that as a ghost damaged trap.
There you go.
Yeah. But watching Ghostbusters continuously made me like acting as well. And stuff with the comedy of Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and stuff like that. And then later, when I was growing up, like kind of after high school, I see people dressing up as Ghostbusters, cosplaying. I was like, oh, well, that looks cool. And so I decided to kind of buy patches for my arm and buy a jumpsuit I got from a military base. And from a prop builder from Hole in the Ground Productions. He made packs. I asked him to make me a pack, and he's like, sure, yeah, send me it. It was perfect. It was like his beginning. Right now he's using other parts. It was wood and plastic and stuff, had sound. And I pretty much wore it all the time, very much. That's
great.
And then later, I found out there was a Ghostbuster group, the Real Ohio Ghostbusters. And I joined up. The person in charge of Ohio Ghostbusters is named Mike. And he covers the whole entire Dayton area of Ohio. And we did events for Make-A-Wish and stuff. We did movies, and we actually, one time, Dan Aykroyd came to Cincinnati to Jungle Gyms. It's a huge supermarket. It has everything that you would want.
Oh, nice.
And I got over there late, and I saw the group there, but the people told me to go in line, and I was like, well, okay. So I go in the huge party line. It's like waiting for a roller coaster ride. And one of the Jungle Gyms people said to me, like, are you a Ghostbuster? And I said, yes, I'm a scientist.
Did they ask
And
if you were a god?
No, they did not, unfortunately. I felt like one. They said, "You come with me," went up all the way to the front. And the other people saying, like, be like, he usually will just sign the vodka, but seeing how you guys talk to Mike and the rest of seeing how you guys are a charity and you do stuff for people, he'll sign whatever you want for free.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, I didn't have my toys. So I was like, could you sign my proton pack? And he's like, sure, yeah. And he signed my proton pack and we did the point picture. And that was my very, very happy experience and stuff. Fast forward, I'm with the Cincinnati Ghostbusters. This past last year, we were with the Real Ohio Ghostbusters, Cincinnati. We were doing promotion for the two films for Afterlife and Frozen Empire for the small Miamisburg theater called the Plaza Theater. And so we went in there with our packs on and stuff. And surprisingly, there was a congressman in the area, and the theater owner came in and had the congressman introduce us to the audience. And so when you're introduced by a congressman, you're like, oh, this is just like the movies, but 10 times better.
Right. You got the government involved now.
You got the government involved, and they said us, and we're like, hot cloud nine stuff.
That's great. Well, hey, let's take it back a little bit. So when you were talking, you said Ghostbusters 2 was the first movie that you saw. What's your favorite moment from Ghostbusters 2?
Oh God, that's probably a very good one. I'd probably say the courtroom scene where they're just going downhill. You might as well just go into flames. And I have used a lot of those comments from the courtroom bunches of times to try and get me out of certain stuff at work, but they're like, that's pretty good. Don't do it again.
Yep. Have you ever used the judicial estrangement order?
Yes, I have. And like, that doesn't work in the real life. Please stop watching movies.
Yeah, I've tried to use it, and it usually confuses people. But that's okay. So what? So your favorite moment's the courtroom scene. Ecto 1A. Do you like that better than Ecto 1? Or is Ecto 1A your favorite?
I liked Ecto 1 better because it was more traditionally, but seeing how it was during the holiday setting, I could see like, yeah, I'm starting to like it a little bit with the different colors on the rack, rack and stuff. I'd be like, yeah, I got used to it a little bit, and be like, yeah, I liked it, and so it's canon for me.
Absolutely. Now, uniform. Do you prefer the original khaki, or do you like the dark gray?
I prefer the original khaki.
Okay.
Because whatever you can, if you're a Ghostbuster like cosplaying with a group and stuff, you can do whatever you want. But if you really want to be perfect, go with the traditional. But I can't be perfect, but
Right, and I'll share something with you. So when I was a kid, Ghostbusters, and hey, Ghostbusters 2 is we'll call it canon for Why We Bust, is that it is our favorite movie here on Why We Bust. Ghostbusters 2 is superior, but I'm colorblind. So as a kid, I could have sworn up and down that those were navy blue, and in some promotional art and stuff, it does look slightly navy blue. So my favorite uniform that I wear is a navy blue. But I'll tell you what, when I throw on that khaki and I look in the mirror,
oh yeah, you feel like a superhero.
You do feel like a superhero. That is absolutely correct. So did you get into real Ghostbusters?
Yes, I did. I had the firehouse.
You had the toys.
I had the car, Ecto 2, everything. But then when you're moving around with military family, you're like, oh, where did I put it? And it's one of those kind of be like, I'll put that on the bucket list if I ever find it.
Yes, actually, we were Windy City was just at the Kane County Toy Show, which is out here in Illinois, and there was a whole booth that had original Ghostbuster figures. I mean, you name it, they had it. All original packaging in protective sleeves. It was amazing to see all of that stuff. Do you remember as a kid going to the toy store and seeing all that stuff on the shelves?
Oh, I would just get so excited that I couldn't, like, my dad would be like, "Stop that." And so, like, I would see the different colored slime for the firehouse.
Oh yeah.
And then the glow in the dark figures, and then there's the Janine, and then Lewis, and then the random monster figures. Like, I was like, I want it all.
As a kid, I had sporadic stuff. I still have. I will admit I own 4 firehouses. Actually, somebody brought to my attention yesterday that I may own 5, so I will have to go back. I will have to go back through and just double check how many. James is looking at me like, what? I may actually own 5 firehouses. I don't know. But what was your favorite real Ghostbusters toy? Oh, I've got more Transformers than I can.
Ooh, that is a real tough one.
What was your favorite real Ghostbuster? Figure or vehicle?
You mean the episode?
No, like actual toy. What was your favorite real Ghostbuster toy?
Ecto 1 and the proton pack, of course.
Yes.
Of course, I always had trouble getting the trap on the side. It wasn't supposed to, but we just tried to do it anyway. Just ram it in there and go like, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so did you end up losing the foam insert for the proton one?
Yeah, when you move around and, when your dad's like, do we have everything? Like, I think I do. Like, are you sure? Yeah, sure, yeah. And then it's like, then you look in the box like, well, where is it? And yeah.
It ended up, you know what? All of those ended up somewhere. It's like the lost sock in the dryer, right? Like there's all the foam proton streams just out in a field somewhere living their best life, right?
Yeah, actually,
they grew up and became pool noodles.
Actually, that's not a bad idea to do. If you have an original one, you just shave them down a bit and just put them in the socket. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
I've heard some stories. It does take a little bit of work, but it is possible.
Yeah.
So now you said you watched Real Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Now episodes are hard to remember. I've seen them all, but there's so many. Do you have a favorite moment or a favorite ghost from Real Ghostbusters?
Well, of course, Slimer, of course.
Oh, yeah.
If I ever get a golden retriever in my life again, I will name it Spud or Slimer.
Nice.
But yeah, I would have to say, I distinctly remember Janine's Genie episode. That was kind of nice at the same time that Egon kind of notices her a little bit more. That one, and the one where they go to the opposite of Ghost World, where it's the human man busters getting the Ghostbusters, and it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like, this doesn't feel right.
That's a unique episode. It kind of throws your brain for a little bit of a loop, right?
Oh yeah, it does. I'd be like, this. It's like someone's gone wrong with the episode.
Yeah, right. So now we talked about Ghostbusters too, but the original is really what started everything, right? And I know you've seen it. What's your favorite moment from the original Ghostbusters movie?
Oh, it's when when they're at the mayor scene. That's usually my favorite, but my most favorite is where Peter and Ray are talking, trying to figure out how the hell they're gonna do stuff now they got kicked out of Columbia, and just Ray's just like, you never worked in the private sector. They respect results, thinking he's worked at a supermarket, where Peter's never really done that. It's like, I have a plan. It's a foolproof plan. You just have to trust me. It's like, well, where do you get the money? I don't know.
You know what? That's my answer for a lot of things is I don't know. You know what? It'll get figured out. And those guys did figure it out. And you know what? The franchise rights alone, folks. The franchise rights alone.
It does. Like, you have Ron Jeremy in the crowd for no reason at all.
Yes, some of the random stuff from that movie. Okay, so did you ever have any did you ever rock Ghostbusters clothes at school?
I wore the plastic armband because my mom's saying you can't wear that. I guess I can. I'm a Ghostbuster. And she's like,
Yep.
Whatever. Wore shoes, toothpaste, a shirt. I know. I definitely remember having the bed sheets at the time.
Yes. I don't know if I had those or not, but I do own a Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters sleeping bag. That is one of those things you don't see, but when you see it, you just got to grab it. Okay, so you represented Ghostbusters at school. Were your friends into Ghostbusters too?
Well, I was a drama kid too at the time.
Oh, nice.
And stuff like that. And so it was I was learning musicals because because Ghostbusters made me want to act. So I was doing musicals and doing that and getting in trouble and stuff. But mostly it was the anime crowd, but then anime kind of helped a little bit too with that. Because then later when Ghostbusters was getting popular again, they came out with the Tokyo Pop manga for Ghostbusters. There was a few pages where it shows Winston apparently was in the army before he was in the Ghostbusters in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Something like that. And so he's shooting his proton wand and I guess an A-15 at ghosts and something. I was like, interesting. I wonder if they would ever put that in there.
You never know. So hey, we're gonna take a second here and we're gonna jump over to our comments. Hey Terry, Sioux Empire Ghostbusters, great to see you guys back. Rudy, love seeing you in here. Miss Builder, how are you doing out there? We've got Keelan Gillian, fight Gozer. Yes, fight Gozer. Absolutely. Any day you can, fight Gozer. And Terry's asking, how many t-shirts do you have? I don't know if that's for me or for you or for Norm. I will say that I have a ridiculous t-shirt collection of probably over 150 t-shirts.
Well,
Ghostbusters is probably at least 40 to 50. What about you, Ian?
I'm at 4 right now. I'm gonna try and change my wardrobe at the moment because just the shirts are getting a little dead. Unfortunately, yeah. You gotta, But I'm thinking about probably getting some of our own branches shirts. The Cincinnati Ghostbusters, we have our own shirts and hoodies and stuff.
Nice. Now, is that just for team members or is that something that other people?
Oh no, that's anyone who comes to the Florence Mall, I believe.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, Florence. Yeah, it's Cincinnati, but you know how Cincinnati and Ohio are very close together. It's a border thing. And so yeah, we have shirts, they have hoodies and stuff. You can ask on the Facebook page. And a lot of it goes to charity. And, we have pins and patches.
Well, I may have to check that out to update some of my wardrobe and expand it a little bit. So we're talking about Cincinnati a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you first find out about the Cincinnati Ghostbusters?
Well, I was with Dayton, and a guy dressed up in a Stay Puft named Scott Chase was there, and he joined with the Real Ohio Ghostbusters, and we talked, became great, and he said well, we're gonna start a Cincinnati thing. Would you want to join? Back? Sure, yeah. That's fine. More merrier.
Right? What was the first event that you did with them?
Ooh. We did several events together, but just alone, I'd probably say that's a hard one. Probably first one last year at a movie theater for Frozen Empire.
Oh, good. That's a great setting for an event, right?
Oh yeah, it was just all the kids loved us. Of course they do. And for some people say burn in hell, Venkman. There are those people too.
Yes, there are.
They go to Ohio State.
So,
No,
all right.
I love
So
Ohio State. I love Ohio State.
what's your favorite type of event to do?
Ooh, I'd have to say doing parades when I have time. If I have to work, then I have to be like, well, work comes first. But the parades are fun because, it's all about making people happy. Like we said earlier, it's like wearing a superhero suit, and it's also like being a celebrity. At the same time, people want pictures with you. Like, oh, I saw you picture, and now you realize like now I know how a celebrity feels like because they just want you all the time because you're
Right.
like, oh my God, I've never seen this before in my life.
So now you mentioned the picture taking. How many the highest amount of pictures you've taken in an event? How many would you say it was?
I usually don't count. I'd probably just say a very big margin.
If you could guess, like
I'd say probably 100 or more, depending if it's at a convention. They do conventions, or if a place invites us, like different places who will invite us. They have a lot with families or with kids or with just us in general.
isn't that crazy though? How many people want to get a picture with you?
It is.
Like when I first started doing. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Like I remember two things I remember. The first one was when I did Salvation Army one year before the whole political stuff. I was standing there for 5 hours freezing, no coat on, just my jumpsuit and my pack. And one woman came up, put money in, and gave me a great big hug and said to me, "God bless you, Ghostbuster." I was like, movie moment.
That's amazing. I was actually amazed because when I joined Windy City, the first time I put my suit on and I looked in the mirror and I was like, okay, this is going down. This is going to happen. And it was a local event here called Scarecrow Fest.
Mhm.
And I didn't know what to expect, right? I just knew that I was dressed as a Ghostbuster. I was going to go help some guys at a booth, and James, our producer there, was actually at my first event, and it was our first time. It was our first time as a group going to that event as well. So we all didn't really know what to expect, and I think we probably took 200 pictures, maybe more. It was nonstop. It just seeing
Right?
the engagement of people when they see somebody that's dressed as a Ghostbuster. It really hits them, right? Like, have you experienced that where like you've been around people where they're just in absolute awe of you?
Yes, and it feels very good, but also at the same time you have to be like, you gotta stay in character too. You can't be like, oh, I'm a fan too. Oh no, wait a minute, I am the Ghostbuster. So you'd be like, yes.
Yep.
Yes, this is a class 8, full roaming, transparent, and such and such. Like also last year we did stuff for Spirit. Just standing around for a store. And one kid asked me, could I have your autograph? And I was like, don't screw this up, don't screw this up, don't screw this up. And I just like,
it's a big moment.
I just wrote down Dr. Ian to says him, and then here you go. He said, thank you. Yeah.
That's a heartwarming moment.
Yeah.
I've been asked for my autograph too, and it hits you right in the feels, doesn't it?
It does.
And I don't. Have you experienced this where I know if I'm having a bad day or like because sometimes I'll go to events after work and I'll have had just a day that just drags me down. When I throw on the flight suit and I get to that event, like it all turns around.
It turns around like that. Your day is just like the happiest day, even when you're very tired. Like you've worked, like say, like 5-6 hours, and you're tired, but you're like, oh, I gotta do this. But then you're like, I got to. People want you. You're responsible, and you show up, and you're like, hey, and it does. You have a responsibility. They came to see the Ghostbusters, and you don't want to disappoint.
Yes,
Thank you, Terry.
You are a Ghostbuster. Anyone asks you if you were a god, you say yes.
Yes.
Standard Standard
no
issue
event's too big, no charity is too big.
I love it. I love it. So, all right. So we've discussed your favorite style of event. You said parades. Now, do you like longer or shorter parades?
I'm kind of like the longer ones because it's good for you, but shorter, long ones are just as good. You're making people happy, and, you know, throw candy to them as long as they can catch it. If they don't, you're like, keep smiling.
Now, do you? Because I found myself doing this earlier this year. Do you pick up some of the floor candy?
I'm not going to.
There's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer.
There have been some Ecto residue on some floors that I had to experiment with.
There you go.
Put it that way. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Samples. Yes, samples.
Samples. Yes. I sampled quite a few Twizzlers back on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah.
Now, what they said parades are your favorite, but what is your favorite event that you have done over any other event?
Actually, any event is fun for me because it's what makes me happy. Because I'm with people who accept me for me, and also they understand that I may not understand a lot of things. I'm a bit slow, but I'm high functioning at the same time. And it's the Ghostbuster community, whatever branch it is. They're all family. They're nice to you. They understand you. And you can count on them if you're in a jam or if you need someone to talk to, you can count on them.
That's, you know, I know that being part of Windy City for me has been kind of, it's eye-opening, right? Like you just mentioned, there are so many people that are a part of the franchise sometimes that you can go to, you can talk to. It's really like a family, isn't it?
It is. It is a corporate family that actually loves each other.
Right.
I may have drinking too much pink slime though.
That's all right. It all comes out the same in the end.
It'll work. I love you, man. Are you serious?
Oh, that's great. All right. So let's talk about. You said you've met Dan Aykroyd. Are there any other celebrities that you have met? And I thought I saw a picture of you with
Yes,
somebody.
I was with Ernie I saw Ernie Hudson at GalaxyCon in Columbus. GalaxyCon is like the Wizard World. It used to be called Wizard World. Now they're calling it GalaxyCon, where they have all the people. Anakin Skywalker was there, and that was a real test to my limit for that line. But Ernie is very nice, very humble.
He is.
We had Ectos there. There was the Ohio Ecto.
Mm-hmm. Amazing Ecto. If anybody out there hasn't seen it.
The Ohio Ecto was there. Columbus Ghostbusters were there. We were there with our Ecto. The Slimer Charger was there. If you've seen that car,
I have. That's pretty cool too.
Like Slimer was with the Charger too, and Ernie signed the Slimer Charger. They took a piece off it, but he slimed the Slimer Charger car, and you know we're all happy. We're all cloud nine. And so if I haven't signed my poster, I haven't put it in a frame yet because I'm looking for a good movie frame that doesn't break apart after a few years.
I totally get that. Now, is there a member of the cast that you would like to meet?
Oh, of course. I can't remember him. His name starts with a B, ends with an M. Bill Murray, of course.
The elusive Hurricane.
Hurricane. He's gonna say stuff. He's Bill Murray. You can't stop Bill Murray. Just let him have his fun.
You know, there's more of a chance of you being on the street, like walking to a drugstore and running into Bill Murray, than if you like had a schedule. Like the man flies by the seat of his pants, which
he does.
Hey,
actually, his son did work for Xavier University for a while. He came around the games.
Oh, that's cool.
And then his son, I guess, worked for another team, so he went over there. Other people, I would have to say, even though he passed away, and this is true, I remember sending a letter to Harold Ramis before he passed away, and I was living in Maryland, and it was before the '09 game came out, and so this was 2 years ago. I was, on my computer looking stuff, and I get an email on my Facebook saying, "I'm such and such. I'm a reporter. Have you lived in, or are you still living in Maryland?" And I'm like, I did. And he's like, "Could I have your address?" And I said, no. But he's like, "Well, I'm a reporter. Someone who I know who knows such and such has something for you." And I'm like, "Can I see your credentials?" And he showed me. I'd be like, "Okay." I gave him my address. 2 weeks later, I get a parcel. I open it up. It had a letter I sent to Harold Ramis and an autograph that says, "To Ian, best wishes, Harold Ramis." And this is like a couple years after he died.
Oh man, that is such a cool story.
And it's a picture in Ghostbusters 2, and I'm like, well, this proves one thing: Egon's ghost is real, and Ghostbusters are real. I don't care what you say.
That made my day. I'm glad that you were able to connect with somebody that was able to get that to you. That is so cool.
It was just out of random, and I was like thinking, but I'm happy. So that means I have 1, 2, I think probably Billy's the one. Well, Annie Potts and the rest of them, but yeah, Bill would probably be the only one left for all
nice.
4.
Well, you know what? You were lucky it wasn't some random Saudi prince trying to contact you about an inheritance.
No,
it was actually something that panned out.
Actually, the last one was a Hindu priest, but I was like, I don't know how to spell priest.
There's that going around too. So hey, let's talk about your uniform a little bit. Now you said you like to wear the khaki, and you've got your pack.
Yeah, I'm working on a new uniform right now. And so I will be putting the Cincinnati patch. We have our own team patch on here, name here, and that's about it. Just no hose because it's just too complicated.
The hose does get in the way sometimes, doesn't it?
Yes.
I'm sure you've been in an event, and I know I have, where you almost wish that was a functioning hose.
It does, and plus I wore a friend of mine's jumpsuit too. He gave it to me. He said he wanted back someday. We came back, and I'd be like, "Okay, I'll hold on to." And I wore it sometimes, because he's the one with the hose. And he came back and he says, "Can I have my stuff back?" Like, sure, yeah. Just to keep safekeeping,
Yeah, that's great, man. That is great. Just hold on to it for when a buster needs it again.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you carry a PKE with you? Do you carry a trap? What's your favorite piece of equipment that you have?
Well, actually, I was going to do this last year. I go to a convention called Otakon. It was in Baltimore, but it's in DC now. And so even though it's in Port Hayes, I'd probably bring it this time and go to Ford's Theater. And they'll be like, really? Really? They're like, I heard someone say John, and I thought to myself, you never know.
Oh,
I can't bring the pack.
No.
Someone says, you're going to hell for this. Yes, I know, but it's so cool.
Be an interesting place to bring that to. I tell you. So do you have any plans for any equipment that you're gonna do you like to build stuff, or do you like to have somebody build it
now? I'm trying to build stuff. I'm trying to work on to build a pole for the standing bookcases like that. Some people say get a pole and get styrofoam and just put the two covers together and make it look like they're books standing together.
Sure.
And see how I also work at a hardware store. I will not mention name. They said they might get some animatronics that could be something that'd be coming out soon. And so that'll be exciting for that.
That's cool. First dibs, right?
Yeah. So that way I'm saving my job and stuff. So that way I don't get in trouble.
Oh yeah, no, I getcha. So we'll talk a little bit now about some of the newer movies. So
I like them.
You did. Did you like Afterlife more or Frozen Empire more?
Well, Afterlife made me cry. I mean,
general consensus. Yep.
It is. Like a lot of movies I cry to because military family are mostly like war movies, but Afterlife made me cry. And I just hold it in. Don't let them see you cry. Just a little bit. It's in the dark. They can't see you.
No, it's all good, man. Like
it's good. It was just that powerful because you see Egon and he's there and you see them looking at Egon be like, oh, hi.
I've seen the movie more times than I can count, and I will be straight up honest. The first time was full on tears. I still do tear up at that moment. Like it is perfectly acceptable after the 400th, 500th time to cry a bit.
Frozen Empire. I like. There was that little. I think the scenes with Paul Rudd and Bill should have been kept in. How he explained how he did stuff. It's like, well, Egon read stuff. Ray built the equipment. I just took a shower and shaved and just went home.
Yeah, a little bit more substance. That's my only. Cause actually, I had the Frozen Empire on in the background at work the other day, and I think a little bit more substance in that movie would have gone a long way. And like you mentioned, the scenes with Paul Rudd and Bill Murray, just a smattering of that, a little bit of comedic relief, a little bit of seriousness, a little bit more substance in that movie would have taken it to the next level. What do you want to see out of the next Ghostbusters movie?
Well, I trust Dan, I trust Ernie, I trust pretty much Jason because they are. But plus, they're using all the ideas from the real Ghostbuster cartoon. They may use stuff from the Extreme Ghostbuster cartoon, which I would like to see because then you could say Kylie could be played by Jenna Ortega, and you could definitely see that could be happening. Wink, wink.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't wait till they have more stuff and maybe even go into lore of other real haunted places like the Winchester House, the one prison up in Masson, Ohio. That's really a haunted place where they filmed Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, the
reformatory, yes.
Incorporating some stuff like that would be cool. Now, would you like to see it set in a different city?
I wouldn't mind it, but you have to start. But you have to have the original people or Ernie say like, "This is how we're going to start this out," and may have Dan. I don't think Bill would do it, not unless they pay him a lot to do just to show up. But, or if Rick Moranis would just show up, or if they did it in Canada, then Rick would do it. I think Rick would do it if it was in Canada, maybe. But
there's always the possibility. I would love to see Rick come back. I think I'd say it's 50-50 for the next movie. I think he could add just a little bit of comedic timing, a little bit of comedic relief to it.
I think he'd be grown up a little bit, not as silly like he was, but a little more like I know what this is about, and I'm much more serious. But
a little bit older,
a little bit silly,
a little bit older, a little bit wiser.
Yes,
Louis Tully, I like that.
Or could have a nephew. I could see either a nephew or a son.
See, now we're thinking here. I like your style, Ian.
Or
I like that.
We just do the niece or nephew thing. You could see that. Like, oh, I have my nephew. He's trying to be a night court judge or blah, blah, blah.
I like that. You know what? Sony, if you're watching, we got some good ideas thrown around in the hopper here. So I want to give you a little bit of time to talk about. Now, you said that you are passionate about the Special Olympics. Tell us a little bit about what you do with the Special Olympics.
Well, I'm in the Special Olympics as an athlete. I play softball and basketball in Ohio. I used to play soccer, softball, basketball, and floor hockey. And it's cream of the crop there. In Ohio, not too much, but there's still stuff to do. Also, but I advocate for people. I live in Greene County, and there's a lot to do to get more people involved and stuff like that. Because we love to, like, when you're playing a sport, you feel like when you're watching a baseball game, you feel like that player that you're about to hit, even though you're gonna miss or stuff, but you feel good when you're playing because you feel like the people that you watch on TV. Like being a Ghostbuster, when you have the pack on and stuff, you feel like the Ghostbuster. And plus you're around people who like you, who are just like you and stuff. You make friends, you start stuff. Like I've made friends I talk to like I would never think of talking to, but and stuff. And also with, like I said, with acting, like one of the Ghostbusters, Andrew, with the Real Ohio Ghostbusters. He. Sorry, I'm getting a little nervous.
Oh, you're good.
He does Gem City Groundlings for Shakespeare.
Oh, that's cool.
And Dayton doesn't really have that much Shakespeare, so he's been going around with his wife promoting and doing different shows. They're going to do a show in June. He has a website called gemcitygroundlings.com, and they're going to do Hamlet and stuff.
Nice. So yeah, you mentioned acting. Are you passionate about acting?
Oh yes, very soon. I just did a recital on singing. I sung a song called "Merry Roll Along." It's not the song; it's the show. And that song was sung by Harry Potter actor on Broadway. And my teacher thought that'd be a good song for you. Be like, yeah, but I'm not a Gryffindor. I'm a Slytherin.
Gotta make sure you get that house right?
All right.
So did the acting bug catch you at an early age?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I remember one girl was like complaining she didn't want to be this part, that part, and I said, I'll be whatever you want me to be. And the teacher's like, okay, you get out, you sit down. And we did the little show, and then that's what just started. I just, mostly because of watching a lot of TV, I like the acting and just the comedy and watching Simpsons and Family Guy, and I'd make some of my own jokes, little blue humor jokes, but still pretty funny.
So if Sony approached you to be in a Ghostbusters movie, what role would you want to play?
I'll play anything you want me to be. That's what an actor is. That's what an actor is. But
that's a great answer. I really like that answer. That's spot on.
It is. I'd be like, you can blow me up, you can slime me, you can do whatever, as long as I was like, can I have an autograph too? Like that. But what Andrew said to me, back to Andrew, he said, film is for filmmakers, Shakespeare is for actors, and that's pretty much at the same thing when making movies and acting at the same time. It goes together too, and that really goes into here. Be like, that's a true statement.
So what do you think about this Ghostbusters on Broadway?
I wouldn't push it. But I'm sad to say they probably would do it just because money. Don't turn it into Spider-Man After Dark. We know what happened.
Oh, gee, I don't even want to know about that. So you're right. I mean, yeah, if there's money involved, who knows what's possible, right?
Yeah.
So the charitable efforts of Cincinnati. Do you remember a couple of the ones that I know they have a couple? Which ones does Cincinnati get involved in?
We get involved with the Real Ohio Ghostbusters with Horror Hound twice a year. We do whatever, you know. Of course, we do our separate things. They do their separate things. We do our separate things. But mostly we go into Horror Hound. And we show up. I mean, different. Yeah. Our booths are in like different areas, but we still do our part.
And then what charities do all those benefit?
From what I'm told, Make-A-Wish, and during the holidays, Toys for Tots. And even I will buy the toys myself, and I'll give them to them because it makes the kids happy.
This is very true. You know,
if I had the money, I'd give them a two in the box if I could.
Toys still make me happy. I mean,
they do. Power Ranger robots make me happy, and yeah.
Ooh, nice. A Power Ranger guy. Transformers and Power Rangers.
What?
Transformers and Power Rangers?
Oh, just the Power Rangers. I am a Decepticon and a Predacon. I chose my side. So if someone said,
Nice.
like, don't bring any props to the Peter Cullen panel, I'd be like, it's like, get the Nerf gun. One shot. That's all I need. Just one shot. Die, bro. Okay, that's it. We're taking out. Long live Megatron.
You know what? I met Peter Cullen back in August, and you know what? He'd probably play along. I'm just gonna say, he would probably be into it.
I've only met Cheetor from the Beast Wars, and he actually played Goku. He played new Bob in the newer episodes at the time of Reboot. He was older Bob and turned to Silver Clown Feet Bob. And he's done a lot of stuff too, and he was nice and stuff.
Nice. So Ian, we're gonna start to come to the end of our episode. I'm gonna do a little bit of a speed round here.
Ooh.
All right, ready? Favorite Ghostbuster?
Peter.
Favorite ghost, Slimer or Stay Puft?
Ooh, I'd have to say Stay Puft.
Proton Pack or Ghost Trap?
Proton Pack.
Your favorite color?
Ooh, I have to say red for Power Rangers.
Mine too. And dogs or cats?
Dogs and cats live together, mass hysteria.
Perfect answer, my friend. Awesome. I like it. So, Ian, we want to thank you for coming on to the show today.
I really enjoyed it.
But the final question I have to ask you is, Ian, why do you bust?
Why do I bust? Well, for many reasons. It makes me happy that I can be something and be around things that I like and people accept me. And plus, it's when you wear it, it's like being in the movie because you feel like you matter. And technically, Ghostbusters are part of the emergency responder system. There's police, fire, CDC, and then the last one is Ghostbusters on there. Or
yes,
or CDC. I even put
love
that on
it.
my niece's telephone. Like, here's what happens when don't call the police. Call this number. But what if someone's trying to break in? Just call this number. That way we get recognized.
That's great. Well, and here, folks out there, if you have a spook, specter, or otherwise in your home, you can call us Windy City Ghostbusters at, grab your pen and paper, 312-625-2534. Again, 312-625-2534. And you can listen to a special little message from a special lady that's on there and leave us your thoughts, comments, or if you have an event that you'd like us to be a part of, leave us a message there. And Ian's got that Cincinnati Ghostbusters sticker there. That is, oh, I love that logo. That is
It's the holiday one. It's the only one I could find at the time.
Oh, it's all. See, James, hey, Windy City, we need a holiday logo.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, folks, for tuning in. We want to tell you, you can find us, Windy City Ghostbusters, back here next Monday for the next episode of Why We Bust. We'll be bringing in another special guest and running them through the Ghostbusters ringer. You can find us, Windy City Ghostbusters, this coming weekend. We will be in Naperville and Andersonville at Graham Crackers Comics for free comic book day. Come out and see your Windy City Ghostbusters, grab a patch and say hi, take some pictures, and get your free comic books because you know what? In this day and age, anything free is worth it. So that's our episode for Why We Bust for this week. We thank you, Ian, for coming in. We really appreciate having you, man. It's been a blast. The magical James Norman, we thank you for keeping us on the rails tonight. And that's a wrap. We'll see everybody next week. Take care and be safe.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Night,